like I wasn't going to heal later. Like consequences were a myth. Like I was immune to attachment, heartbreak, and the slow, creeping regret that shows up uninvited at 2 a.m. with a bottle of "What were you thinking?" I flirted like love was a game and I was undefeated. Like my past never existed. Like the version of me that got gutted and left on red didn't still live in my chest like a ghost with a key to my whole damn nervous system. I flirted with people I didn't even like. And worse, people I did. Because liking them made it dangerous. And danger made it feel like I was alive again. I got good at making people feel seen, just enough to distract them from realizing I was the one disappearing. I mastered the soft eyes, the accidental touches, the "I don't usually open up like this," knowing damn well I opened up like that last week to someone else who's still waiting for a text back that's never coming. I flirted like I wasn't planning to self destruct by Tuesday. Like the emotional bill wasn't coming due and it always came due. Here's the truth: you can't flirt your way out of grief. You can't kiss away your trauma. You can't sleep beside someone and expect them to be a replacement therapist for your abandonment issues. But I tried. Oh, I tried. I tried to smile my way through feeling empty. I tried to pretend I wasn't lonely by collecting company. I tried to avoid healing by chasing chemistry, because healing felt like work, and flirting felt like a shortcut. Until I realized I was just putting sugar on a bullet. You ever catch yourself mid-flirt and think, what the hell am I doing? Like your mouth is saying, tell me about your childhood, but your brain is like, run. You ever start a situationship you knew from day one you weren't built for? Just because they looked at you like you were more than your damage, just because for 5 seconds you believed it too? You ever pretend you didn't notice the red flags because the attention felt too good to let go of? You ever call it fun when it's actually just fear in a new outfit? Listen, I know you. Not all the details, but the shape of you. I know what it's like to use charm as a defense mechanism. I know what it's like to make intimacy feel casual and then panic when someone takes you seriously. I know what it's like to go from good morning texts to ghosting someone because they were actually being kind to you, and kindness feels dangerous when you've only known survival. I know what it's like to get high off potential and crash the moment things get real, because real love demands presence, and presence requires healing. And healing? Healing is a war you fight alone. But I wasn't trying to fight, I was trying to forget. And flirting let me forget. For a while, until it didn't. Until I met someone who wasn't playing. Someone who wasn't interested in being a placeholder. Someone who saw through the jokes and the cool and the curated distance. Someone who asked me, dead serious, do you even like yourself? And I laughed, because I didn't. And it showed healing isn't sexy. It's messy. It's relapsing into your old patterns and having to forgive yourself again. It's sitting with your feelings without texting your ex or finding a new person to call your soulmate by Wednesday. It's silence, boredom, loneliness, reflection. It's crying on the floor over things you thought you were done crying about. It's resisting the urge to numb your pain with attention. It's not flirting. It's learning to hold yourself instead. But here's the dangerous part. Sometimes we get so good at playing the game, we forget we're playing with people. People who bleed, people who get attached, people who are trying to heal too. So we end up hurting people the way we swore we'd never be hurt again. We become what we feared. And then we're confused when it doesn't feel good, because deep down we don't want more flings. We want to be seen, really seen. We want someone to stay, to understand, to witness the softest parts of us and not flinch. But how can anyone stay when we never let them in? When we ghost ourselves every time things start to feel safe? When we flirt like we're trying to disappear? I used to think healing was something that happened in the background. Like, if I just kept going, kept dating, kept talking, kept joking, I'd eventually feel whole. But healing isn't passive. It's active. It's the choice to stop running. It's the decision to sit still. And I couldn't sit still. Because when I did, I had to feel. And feeling felt like weakness. Until I learned that ignoring your feelings is the real weakness. Avoidance is just fear in costume. You ever look back at the people you flirted with and realize you weren't even present for it? Like, you were there, technically. But emotionally, you were in 2018 crying over someone who doesn't even remember your birthday. You were still performing, still protecting, still proving you were lovable, instead of believing it. That's the part that hurts. The knowing. The moment you realize you were never truly open. just available. And I get it, I really do. The world is scary. Being vulnerable is terrifying. Love is risky. But pretending you're fine while casually shattering your own peace, that's not brave. That's avoidance with a good outfit on. And I say this with love because I lived it. I flirted like I had nothing to lose. But the truth is, I was losing myself in the process. People talk about heartbreak like it only happens when someone leaves. But sometimes heartbreak is what happens when you stay in places you don't belong, when you keep offering pieces of yourself to people who don't even know your middle name, when you keep saying, I'm good, with a smile that's lying through its damn teeth. Sometimes the worst heartbreak is what you do to yourself by refusing to grow. And the thing is, people notice. The ones who are self-aware, they can feel when you're performing. They can feel when you're charming to distract. They can sense the emptiness under the surface, and they either run from it, or worse, try to fix it. And baby, it's not their job to fix it. It's yours. Healing is your job. Self-worth is your job. Boundaries, also your job. The person you become after healing, that's your reward. But you don't get there by flirting through your wounds. Eventually, the game stops being fun. Eventually, you get tired of hearing your own excuses. Eventually, the body keeps the score, the soul gets tired, and your heart starts screaming louder than your ego. And that scream says, stop pretending you're okay. Stop running. Stop hurting people who just wanted to love you. Stop calling this survival. It's sabotage. I remember the moment I knew I had to change. I woke up next to someone who thought I was everything, and I felt absolutely nothing. Not because they weren't great, but because I wasn't ready. And I knew it. I knew I was faking peace. I knew I was borrowing warmth from people like a thief in the night, never planning to return it. I knew I was scared, not of love, but of what it would require of me. So I stopped. I stopped performing. I stopped chasing people to distract myself. I stopped trying to win love like it was a competition. And I started doing the real work. Therapy, silence, solitude, apologies, boundaries. I started treating myself like someone I didn't want to lose. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't Instagrammable, but it was real. And slowly I started coming home to myself. And that's when everything changed. Because when you start treating your heart like it matters, you stop offering it to anyone who just knows how to flirt. You start choosing people who know how to stay, who don't mistake mystery for depth, who want to build, not just banter, who don't flinch when you take off the mask. And if you're hearing this, maybe you're tired too. Maybe you're done performing. Maybe the flirting doesn't feel fun anymore. Maybe you're ready for something deeper, something real, something rooted. Maybe your heart is begging you to stop, to rest, to heal. And if that's where you are, you're not alone. It starts here. It starts now. And hey, if this hit, it's probably not random. If this feels like a mirror, maybe it's time to stop pretending it's just a reflection. Maybe it's time to start being honest with yourself first. Because the real glow up, it's not aesthetic, it's emotional. It's knowing your worth so deeply you stop auditioning for roles in people's lives you were never meant to play. So yeah, I flirted like I wasn't going to heal later. But now, I'm healing like I never want to flirt that empty again. And maybe, just maybe, you're ready to say what you need to say. I'll be here.